Immigration security is national security.
He also said police should be allowed to racially profile suspects.
They're afraid to do anything about it because they don't want to be accused of profiling.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I played you that bite for a couple of reasons. One was because, did you notice on the crawl underneath, they said that Trump talked about and favors racial profiling. He never said the word racial profiling. They put that in there. CNN put it in, and CNN later apologized. But that's, you know, pretty par for the course. He also went on to talk about Israel and how they profile, and all police profile. But Israel, of course, is in a very special circumstance. And joining us now, I'm very happy to say, we welcome back to our show Ofir Akunis. He's Israel's Minister for Science and Technology. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, it's very good to be here again.
Thank you. Yeah, so welcome you back. So you're in town for the General Assembly.
That's right. The Prime Minister of Israel will be there tomorrow, and I will be with him.
And he's in town today, I guess, because he's meeting with Barack Obama?
Yeah, today is the meeting with the President Obama. As you know, we signed last week the MOU between the United States administration and the Israeli government.
And MOU stands for?
Is for support for Israel.
Right.
It's $38 billion for Israel. You remember that a lot of journalists used to say that it's the relationship between the United States and Israel is very bad because of the leaders. Now, we have the proof. It's not so bad.
Well, it's not so bad.
It's the highest ever from the beginning of the state of Israel.
Do you think, though, that, well, I mean, I've been one of those on the train that says that this president has no use for Netanyahu, that this president has no use for Israel. That's just my opinion.
I don't think it is personal. I think that we should deal with the ideas. Now, you remember I said that there's differences between the ideas of the American administration and the Israeli administration. They asked for withdrawal from Jordan Valley. We said no. So there's one example. There's differences. But the ally between Israel and the United States is very stable and it's very strong, and I'm very glad.
Of course, you know, and the deal with Iran, which now we find out there was more money involved, and so that's always been something on my mind as well, the way he treated Netanyahu. But you don't need to weigh in on that. I don't want to put you in an awkward position here. This deal is good for Israel. Absolutely, it's good.
The MOU is great, and the Iran deal is bad.
But yes, but do you think that, because there's a lot of talk, that before he leaves office, it will come up at the Security Council of the United Nations that the Palestinians should have a state, and that the United States will not use its veto, and thereby enabling the Palestinians to declare statehood unilaterally almost through the United Nations. Do you think that that's a possibility?
You know, I think that the French initiative is bad. Why it's bad? Because they're putting Israel under pressure to declare or to say yes to a Palestinian state. Now, the only way, Steve, the only way to bring peace to the Middle East is direct negotiation between Israel and the Palestinians. If they want to come to the table, we will say yes in 1 minute. You know what is the problem? The problem is that first of all, there's preconditions, and second, they don't want to.
Right.
The other side don't want to come to the negotiation table. So this is the problem, and the Palestinians are the obstacle for peace, and not the settlements, and not Israel.
No, I absolutely. I want you to hear something that Bibi made a video, short, to the point, concise, strong, as he always is. And here's part of what he had to say in that video.
It's even more outrageous that the world doesn't find this outrageous. Some otherwise enlightened countries even promote this outrage. Ask yourself this: would you accept ethnic cleansing in your state, a territory without Jews, without Hispanics, without blacks? Since when is bigotry a foundation for peace?
Talking about the fact that the Palestinians, and I've always said this, their two-state solution is Israel as it exists today, but without the land they want for their state, and that other state would be no Jews, only a Palestinian state. So they want two states, two Palestinian states in effect. So here Netanyahu saying that's ethnic cleansing, and what's the State Department's reaction? They blast Netanyahu. I mean, that's what bothers me.
I want to tell you something. I heard Abu Mazen, the PA chairman, he said the Palestinian state will be clean of Jews.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Of course.
It's unbelievable. And I never heard till today, I think it's 3 or 4 years since he said it in the beginning, nobody said anything about it.
Right.
Now, so what is the idea? He wants a transfer to Jews from Judea and Samaria. Judea and Samaria, this is the homeland.
The quote-unquote Palestinian
homeland.
territories.
Yeah, that's what he said, that it will be clean.
Yeah.
Clean, you know. You remember who was the last to say clean of Jews?
Hitler. Maybe.
In Germany,
Yeah.
in the 30s,
Yeah, yeah.
clean of Jews.
Yeah.
I can't accept it. By the way, I want to tell you, I will never, as a citizen of Israel, not as a minister, as a citizen of Israel who was born in Israel in 1973, I will never say that the state of Israel will be clean of Arabs.
Of Arabs, right.
Of Arabs.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
so
here's what contributes to it.
Yeah.
Let's listen to what Barack Obama said.
Yeah.
Very short line from his speech at the UN. You were there. You heard it.
yeah.
And surely Israelis and Palestinians will be better off if Palestinians reject incitement and recognize the legitimacy of Israel. But Israel recognizes that it cannot permanently occupy and settle Palestinian land.
Palestinian land. Now, that makes the assumption that it's Palestinian land, number one. And number two, I mean, I don't have to tell you, but Palestinians didn't have this land. Israel went to war, and they took land from Egypt, they took land from Jordan, they took land from Syria. They didn't take land from the Palestinians. So this whole thing is a myth to begin with. But focus on, this doesn't help things when Obama says that, does it?
Mm-hmm. Judea and Samaria this is territories that used to, they are a part of the homeland of the Jewish people.
Right.
So first of all, this is the fact. Much before the Palestinians came to Judea and Samaria, first of all. And I cannot imagine a situation that Jews will not be in Judea and Samaria. Now, the second thing is the occupation. Okay, I will tell you the fact. There is no occupation in Judea and Samaria. Why? Not because it's ours, that's for sure. The fact is that 98% of the Palestinians are living under a Palestinian regime since 1994. So where is the occupation? There is no occupation. And I want to, I want the Palestinians to live with us, to live beside us and not instead of us. And till they will understand that they will not be there alone instead of the Jews and instead of the state of Israel, I think that we will wait to the day that they will want a peace with us. Unfortunately, they don't know, they don't want it, they're not saying it. I'm waiting for a Palestinian leader to come to the Knesset, to the Israeli parliament.
Good luck.
And to thank you, and to say no more war.
Yeah, good luck. Okay, the bombings here in New York City. This is something you in Israel have lived with forever and live with constantly. Yes, very unfortunately. What is the solution? I mean, it's not preventable 100%, but when Donald Trump talks about refugees coming, Syrian refugees coming into this country from countries that have a terrorism problem, unvetted or not vetted enough, is he right?
I think that the terror is the main problem of the free world. It's not an Israeli problem. It's not because the settlements. It's not because the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's groups of extreme terrorists. They're in the United States. They are in Europe.
Religious extremists.
Unfortunately.
Islamic extremists.
Extreme. Not all the Muslims.
No, but Islamic extremists.
That's right. And all of us, United States, Europe, Israel, United Kingdom, and even in the Far East, we should struggle them, we should fight them, and we will beat them. Together. It should be together. And if you want to learn from Israel, if the world wants to learn from the Israelis' technologies, from the Israelis' ideas, welcome. It's important.
ISIS hasn't, I mean, I know they've struck in the Sinai, but they haven't gone inside of Israel. Is the proper word that would follow that, unfortunately, yet? Or are they staying away for some reason?
I don't think that it will happen because we have a very, very, very good security forces. We can prevent it. But they're around, as you said. They are nearby in Syria, in the north. They can be very nearby in Jordan, or as you said, and you mentioned, the Sinai Desert. We are preventing them from do something against Israel. We should look at their bases around us, and we are doing the right things.
And the Syrian situation.
Yeah.
How much does that affect Israel?
As you heard, 3 or 5 missiles thrown against Israel last week. I think that it's part of the interior war there. It's not against Israel yet, but we are here. We are there in the Golan Heights. We are seeing what happened there in the other side of the border, in the Syrian part of the border, and we know how to react. And immediately, by the way, immediately.
Minister Akunis,
thank you
very much. It's my honor. It's my pleasure. Come back anytime. Don't have to wait for a General Assembly. You're invited.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Coming up next, Give Me 5. I promise you, as always, you will not want to miss it. This is must-see TV. Don't go away.